Good morning, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Today is a very special day. It is the last day of the 12 holy days, or nights of Christmas, Three Kings Day. The three wise men, also called the Magi, who accompanied Yeshua in his mission on earth, who recognized the time of his birth into the earth realms.
Yeah, we celebrate this day, the three kings, and we say the three initiates from the three world races, as they followed the star of Bethlehem, as we know from the story, or we rather say the radiant soul star of Yeshua that's reflected in that star, and they found him to bestow him with sacred gifts. And as we know, those are the three gifts. That was myrrh, essential oil, which is about death and resurrection, about that energy and that consciousness. There is gold, which is about the royalty, the cosmic power, the kingdom, being the king, the solar Christ, actually. And then there was frankincense, which we know is used in religious and spiritual rituals for thousands and thousands of years. And it is a symbol of holiness and righteousness. So these beautiful three gifts are a gift that was there for Yeshua, but it's as much a gift for all of us today to connect with the essence of these three gifts.
Yeah, it's really an act of these three very high beings, very high initiates, with all of this cosmic knowledge, cosmic power, showing their respect for this newly incarnated solar king, with this with the higher cosmic power, the Christ consciousness, which is something that is being resurrected in all of humanity today. Also called the Epiphany, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I wanted to say also that in many countries and in the Orthodox churches today is, their kind of Christmas celebration, which, for example, in the countries where we live is more celebrated towards the winter solstice. But this day is indeed called the Epiphany, and it's a big celebration, the manifestation, the joyful manifestation of Yeshua in the earth realm. And Epiphany, I think we mentioned it before, means revelation. And it's really, used to draw attention in a way to the fact that it was the day when Yeshua was incarnated in this historical occasion in the earth realms. And with him came in the impulse of the Christ consciousness, from what we call the great cosmic central sun. It was Christ consciousness was back incarnated in the earth realms again. And we mentioned it also in another moment. It was just only 2,000 years ago, and we're still working in that lineage to bring in that consciousness in the earth realm through many of us, because the time is now that we're so ready for that. So there is still a lot to fulfill from that moment that was historically marked by his birth.
And this birth, of course, didn't come all of a sudden on its own, did it? It really came through hundreds of years of preparation of the consciousness, the field of consciousness, through the Essene community that he incarnated into. And this Essene community is still working today. Many of us recognize ourselves as part of this impulse. And during our journey to Mount Sinai, we were connecting with three of the Essene Grail Masters. Maybe you want to say something more about that?
Yeah, because it became so clear for us how much we are part of this lineage, that we are open for any lineage, and we receive wisdom that is held by all the different cultures and all the different wisdom around the world. But in our journey, in our work, what we call the Ark of Peace and Abundance, the last couple of months, some of you know that we went to Mount Sinai, and being there, the three Essene Grail Masters came into our transmissions in a very big way. We received messages from them on different levels, different transmissions. And among the received transmissions, we received the message from them that the Essene Mystery School consciousness would now be integrated within Mary Magdalene's school. And that was such a strong message, and we are still in the process of receiving more insights on what that means. And what we do know, because the first transmissions have been reflected in our program Peace Transmissions, in which we transmit specific tools to support a new civilization founded in the Essene consciousness, or maybe another way to say is a consciousness based on the essence of life. So, mystery schools have worked with these tools and teachings over millennia, and they find their base in cosmic universal laws, yeah? And this wisdom is held by many, the children of the light around the globe through eras and eras and eras.
Yeah.
So,
it would be maybe good to mention, interesting to mention that as we talk about these three Grail Masters, and we've been having discussions about this as well, because we are also learning as all these realms reveal their wisdom and their teachings, that throughout his life, from what we have understood, Yeshua has been taught by these, always coming in three initiates, high level initiates. And they came from the Middle East, they came from Persia, they came from India, as far as China. So he actually was Africa. So he was really taught through many, many different lineages in order to really have to be able to incarnate the universal cosmic laws and to teach from what he himself was taught as
was Mary Magdalene, we know.
As was Mary Magdalene, absolutely, yeah.
They both held this incredible wisdom. Yeah. Do you want to say something about when soul family incarnates in groups as we do nowadays? It's maybe nice to explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, well, we know that we don't incarnate alone. with our own unique mission. We always incarnate in soul groups, in networks, because the missions are sometimes larger. They need to be managed by and done collectively. And so we know also that there are certain groups that incarnate on Earth in times when there is a major change in civilization happening. So a major change in collective consciousness. And that these times, we've lived through them at various times of human history. This is not a first time. I think many of us recognize this work. And we, at this moment in time, recognize that that we are really in this lineage of what Yeshua and Mary Magdalene were bringing in with the whole Essene soul family, because they were not doing their work alone. They were doing it within a group consciousness, which could hold the power and the field for this massive change. So this Essene soul family really held the field for this higher level of vibration. And in the same way, we are working with soul family today for the same purpose, to be able to build the power field, to be able to shift into a higher way of being, higher frequency of consciousness.
And how does that relate to the current time you feel?
Well, that's what we're doing now. We are really, there's so many shifts that are happening right now. We are moving from, in some way, a death consciousness to a life consciousness. We are moving from a consciousness of ease to a consciousness of joy and creation. We are remembering creation principles, cosmic creation principles. We are remembering how to function in oneness from separation. There are so many things that we are remembering. And as we come together in communities that have already been on this path of remembering for a while, we amplify the field in a big way. And so we contribute to this shift in consciousness.
Yeah. I just love the explanation of the word Essenes as in one way of the children of the light, which we also know as the children from Ra, and in many cultures, that these children of the light have come together at these specific moments to set the network of light. And I feel in these times a lot that we are somehow fulfilling the prophecy in a way that was held by Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, let's say 2000 years ago now, a little bit over that. And that we are all coming together now to fulfill that and to really vest it here, to really manifest it here, because the time is so right for it. So it's I think it's an incredible honor, though we sometimes think it's difficult, but above all, it's such an honor to work in this field with all of us together, and such a joy to be together as a community.
And so much magic happens. We really go into the unexpected, and so much magic, because as revelation happens in the collective field, all we can do is be in awe of what all of a sudden, how the reality can shift from one thing to a totally different thing. And in a way expected, but also it's always feels unexpected, doesn't it?
It is always unexpected, and at the same time it's so natural. So anyway, we know actually that we will be guided by the three Grail Masters in a very specific way with this Essene consciousness within Mary Magdalene's school. So this will be an enrichment of something we are doing already in the guidance that we receive in the channel. And we will be continue our work towards founding the new civilization on Earth with this extra treasure that we've been given, this consciousness that we are all holding. And we would like to talk a little bit about a work we will be doing in Vézelay live. That will not be online, that will be really live as in a retreat, in a gathering, which is called the Essenes, the Infinite Light and Truth Within. It will be in May this year, in the spring. We call it the Spring Ascension Week, because it's also Ascension Day in that week. And we would love you to join us together as an Essene soul family, and that we can collectively use our inner wisdom, our experience from lifetimes, our spiritual tools, for the magical creation of the new earth. And we know that so much awaits us in this way, in this week. And it is the story about the children of the light. It's the miraculous story about all of us as being a child of this divine light and being the creator. And I really feel that we have been called actually to send out a call to each and every one we have all been waiting for. And we know through the work of the last couple of months that ancient vows of secrecy have been unlocked. So
this is important, This is important, Petra, because so many of you have come back to us saying how you remember really in some way being punished for the light that you carry. It's been such a long-term, in a way, challenge to carry the light in the darkness, and not easy. And so a lot of people have actually taken that light and hid it deep inside in order to be able to survive the times. And this unlocking of the vow is really significant, because now it is safe really for that light to really amplify and to be held within community to do so.
Yeah, and we see it happening all around us already when these vials open up that we've once taken. And what it does also, it accelerates the unfolding of remembrance of our wisdom, of the cosmic laws in a way. And it's going very fast. And we are in the process of recollecting and invoking the magnificent infinite light that resides deep in our being. And wow, what a journey that is.
Yeah, this spiritual light, it's the secret alchemical component we've really understood in all creation. What happens when this light is able to burn brightly? What happens is just magic. And
sorry, I want to say something about it, Anna, because yesterday we got such a clear message and we spoke about it. We shared it also, how much we're asked to bring all of our focus to creation of the new and only creation of the new, period. That is the theme for this year. So that we are stepping into our creator capacities, which is actually, it's so much time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe interesting to talk about the word Essene as well. It's such an interesting area of study. And it really comes from the Latin root esse, right? It signifies to be. So it really designates a space of beingness, being in the essence of the all, being in the essence of the original source of spirit or life. So in some sense, it's really the I am presence. And when we feel into am I in a scene, it's really anyone who is a priori turned within, that we are really looking at the divine light within ourselves, and that we're attuned to the simplicity of our hearts, and that this is our central navigation system above and beyond everything, because this is where life originates, from this divine light within.
Yeah, we often, we know so much the work of being in the Sacred Heart, and as an Essene, we are dedicated to the Holy of Holies, which is the Sacred Heart, the one heart. And it is alive inside each and every one of us. And through that inner sacred space, the magnitude of our infinite being reveals itself, because it can't do anything else but that, because it's what it is. So, and then through creation processes with this in the sacred space, in the Holy of Holies, the miracles of life reveal themselves over and over again. And that is the basis of the creation also of the new civilization on Earth. And I think it's good to say that, I mean, we know the Essenes as being a Jewish sect, as it was called, among the larger communities of Jewish at the times.
Or that's the way it was written. It was written about anyway, also. That, not necessarily that was the case, but that's the way it was often written about. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, Essenes were and are, and all those related to it are committed to the essence of life. And we know that the history of the children of the light dates to the beginning of times. And they are the ones with an unwavering connection to source, studying the work of the great mystery through the book of life. And through our work in our school, actually, we've touched on many moments and many places around the earth where this light was held straight through any periods of great darkness. And we're still here. We come back again and again.
And studying the workings of the great mystery, what could be more interesting?
Well, and we know the answer, but anyway, we will come back more on later moments to tell more about the Essene consciousness as we receive, as we open up in deeper ways in this specific time to this consciousness, as we always do. So we'll share more about that. But to round it up a little bit for today, we would say from our hearts to feel deeply, if you are called to come to our retreat in May, the retreat with the Essenes, within this year where the Essene consciousness will really be the center of the manifestation on earth. We welcome you from our hearts to this gathering. It's going to be in Vézelay, which is in Burgundy in France. And in this gathering, we will walk the Essene Way through our inner experience and our inner light. And you're so welcome.
We should maybe say, Petra, that we will be staying on a domain. Yep. And we have a limited amount of beds, we could say, rooms in the domain that are almost now fully booked, we understand, today.
Yeah, we're getting close to that, but yeah.
But there are places to stay outside of the domain in a close proximity. So it's no problem to find accommodation, though that is a busy week, the Ascension Week in Vézelay. There are many pilgrims here visiting, so it's really good to book as soon as possible. And we really send out a prayer that what is meant to be and how we are guided by our higher selves, that any kind of blockages towards that happening are just simply dissolved, that we may really walk what we're supposed to walk in this year, unencumbered by anything at all, simply listening to the path that our higher self is showing us in an easy way, supported, cared for, so that we can move into manifestation in a joyful way, in a field of love and support.
Yeah, that's a great prayer. Anyway, I wanted to say on the practical side, there is a link that comes with this video you can read all about this week. There's in that link, when you go through that, there's a possibility to go into booking. If you have any questions, you can always connect to Janneke, which can be reached under the email info@marymagdalenschool.com. So if you need help with booking or you have questions, then she's there for all of us to support us. And we're so grateful for that.
Yes.
So, I mean, having said this, we wish you the most inspiring day today. The three wise kings with their three gifts that are so precious, and have a day in remembrance of our uniqueness of being a child of the light, and that we all hold the infinite light and truth within.
Aho.
Aho. Have a wonderful day. We love you.
Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
See you next time. Namaste.